The road to WrestleMania is supposed to be the most exciting time of the year for WWE fans. It's the culmination of long-term storytelling, dream matches, and surprises that remind viewers why professional wrestling is so special. In some years, WWE absolutely nails it, crafting narratives that are unpredictable, emotionally resonant, and full of moments that make every weekly show must-see television. Big names show up unannounced. Social media buzz explodes after midnight promos, and the momentum carries every storyline to new heights. Stars like Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, and The Rock all feel elevated by the build, and fans are left genuinely excited for what's to come. But that hasn't always been the case. In some instances, the build to WrestleMania falls flat, lacking the energy and commitment that fans expect. When the weekly product doesn't match the magnitude of the event it's building toward, the disappointment is palpable. That's exactly how many fans are feeling right now, underwhelmed, frustrated, and confused about why the biggest wrestling show of the year feels like just another pay-per-view. A major issue is the undercard. While a few matches have exceeded expectations, like the standout bout between Jade Cargill and Naomi, much of the lineup feels lazily assembled. Stories that were built for months, such as the SmackDown Tag Team Division arc, are inexplicably dropped. Instead of delivering a payoff, WWE shuffled things around and booked a tag title match that no one asked for, leaving fans wondering why they invested so much time watching. Meanwhile, newly introduced women's mid-card titles are barely represented. On the card, one champion doesn't even have a match, while the other is in a random tag contest. These decisions make it seem like WWE introduced more championships than it can creatively manage, which is especially frustrating during the company's flagship event. Even more disappointing is the way certain matches were presented as potential main events, only to receive lackluster builds. A women's triple threat was discussed as a possible show closer, generating real excitement, but the weekly segments that followed were repetitive and uninspired. Public comments suggesting that any match could main event felt disingenuous, especially when the decision appeared to be made behind closed doors long before the final weeks of television. The Night 1 main event, a star-studded triple threat between CM Punk, Roman Reigns, and Seth Rollins, had all the potential in the world. But instead of building a cohesive story, WWE has delivered what feels like three separate singles feuds awkwardly merged into one. There's no title on the line, and the future of the industry tagline doesn't carry much weight without clear stakes. Each of these rivalries, Punk vs. Reigns, Reigns vs. Rollins, and Punk vs. Rollins, could have stood on its own. Instead, the storytelling has been muddled, and the absence of key players from several shows has only weakened the momentum. Then there's John Cena's heel turn, a shocking moment that temporarily reignited fan interest. While unexpected, the motivation behind his turn felt outdated, as it hinged on past audience reactions that no longer reflect his current reception. Cena's alliance with The Rock was teased, but the company barely explored it on television. The Rock made just one appearance, and any deeper story connecting him to Cena's transformation was quietly abandoned. Even the inclusion of Travis Scott, likely meant to generate mainstream buzz, added little to the narrative and made the champion Cody Rhodes look weak for failing to seek retribution. Another polarizing decision was the international tour during the WrestleMania build. While the overseas crowds were hot and elevated otherwise dull shows, the time zone difference left many American fans feeling disconnected from the product. This could have been a fantastic move during a different time of year, but doing it in the lead-up to the biggest event of the calendar felt like a creative misstep. Despite all this, WrestleMania could still deliver in the ring. The talent is there, the atmosphere will be electric, and there's always the possibility of unforgettable moments. But even if the event over-delivers, the weak build won't be forgotten by fans who felt let down by weeks of underwhelming television. WWE prides itself on using its weekly programming to tell stories and build anticipation, and this time, it simply didn't live up to its own standard. Some may argue that a great WrestleMania can erase a bad build, and there is historical precedent for that. But the modern WWE landscape is different. The audience is more connected, more critical, and more invested than ever before. When storytelling is half-hearted, fans notice. WWE can't afford to coast on name recognition alone.